Hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 2 of the TMS Tightrope Carousel 6.4.5 RSS Feeds. In this episode I'm covering validating your feed using XSD Diagram and Schemas. Now this assumes that you've already watched episode number 1, the introduction, and have downloaded XSD Diagram, and you've also downloaded the resources and test samples from my GitHub account, and that you have unzipped those samples and copied them over to your web server to make them available to Carousel via web links to RSS feeds. All right. Let's start by looking at what you downloaded, and you can view this on your local drive or on your web server, however you want to view this folder that got downloaded from GitHub. And we want to go into the XSD folder where I thought I got rid of that. Where these are the two files that you should see. That old one popped up again. I thought I'd already deleted it, but at any rate, we're going to take a look at this RSS 2.0 Carousel 1.0 version of the schema that I created. And we're going to do that by opening it up in the XSD Diagram application, which down here in my taskbar I have a shortcut to it, so I'm just going to click on that shortcut to open it up. All right, this is the application when it comes up. First thing you want to do is choose File, Open, and we want to look at that schema on this one here. This one's in my Dreamweaver folder, and it reflects what's out on my web server. And it's the same exact file, so I'm going to open that up. And when you first open this up, let me full screen it. You're going to have two tabs here. One is the diagram, which is empty currently, and the other one is the source code to the schema itself. All right. Now this is what we want to avoid, trying to read all this stuff, because unless you know XSD and are familiar with XML schemas, that's not a good way to view it. So a better way to view it is if we click on the diagram tab and you come up on the right side and you double click on the top element, which is RSS. Double click that, and over here you'll see a little block diagram is going to pop up. If I click the plus sign, it shows the structure of an RSS feed as I've defined it for Carousel. All right, we can see that it has a channel element. Let me point out that this any other stuff, this is not implemented by Carousel, but it's required by the schema in order to prevent ambiguity in the event that you want to make certain elements optional. It's not really that important. But just ignore any occurrence of that. That has to do with namespaces other than the default namespace. And the default namespace is going to be the RSS feed itself. Now, for example, a usage of that might be like iTunes podcasts. They use a namespace called iTunes, where they can insert custom tags inside the RSS feed that aren't defined by it. But we're not going to go that route because Carousel does not implement namespaces / custom tags. So let me open up a channel. A channel consists of, let me talk about these connectors. These are connector icons right here. And this icon here means that anything under this has to occur in the order specified. And this icon says anything within here can occur in any order. So this is a channel, consists of a title, a link, a description, language, copyright, pub date, category, image, rating, and ignore that one. And any of these elements can occur in any order. So this is an unordered or unbounded connector. So not only can they occur in any order, but their occurrence is such that you must have one of them. You only have to specify one. It wouldn't be very useful, but in some cases it is. So you could have a title under a channel, and that's it. A title and an item, because an item is required down here. Or you can have a link in an item. Or you can have a title and a link and a description in an item. So I've made them all optional to reflect how Carousel behaves. All right. Let's look at an item. An item has any one of these tags in any order, which is a title, description, a link, an author, a category, comments, enclosure, pub date. Those are the ones under that. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I would like to get in to show you the value of this tool that you would be concerned about. And that would be if you click on File, and then you click on Validate XML File. In here, we can go back and look at the RSS demos folder that is included in that zip file that you downloaded from GitHub. I've included some test or demo feeds in here. So let's look at the first one here. If I double click that, an error report shows no errors. No issue found, which is good. You can go ahead and validate any feed that you create or these demos, and they all should have no errors. That's the purpose of this. Now let's look at one that's going to have errors. Validate XML. And that would be this one. This is a document that I created that I included every element that's in the original RSS 2.0 schema specification. This is all of them. Now remember I said that Carousel doesn't support them all, so its schema is a little different. This document here would pass if you were not opening the Carousel schema, but rather opening the official RSS2. Now let's see how Carousel reacts to this. I mean the Carousel schema reacts to it. You're going to see it says there's an error on line 9, position 6, and the element channel has an invalid child element, last build date. Last build date is not legal inside of Carousel. Now to get a better look at that, not that you really need to see it, you need to be able to tell what the line numbers are. So I use Dreamweaver or Visual Studio to do that. Whichever one you may have, if you have any, you can open up this file and find line 9 in it. Otherwise, you have to use Notepad and just count the lines starting at the top. The first line would be line number 1. And then you go down based upon new lines, carriage return line feeds. Okay, let's take a look at it in Dreamweaver. And that file was, you have to excuse me, I have a lot of stuff in here. That's this one right here. So if I bring this up, you can see Dreamweaver provides you with line numbers, and they're saying here's where the error is. And sure enough, there's an element here called last build date that shouldn't be there. Now the thing about, let me go back to this app. The thing about the error messages is you'll fix that error and then the next error will come up. This will only show you one error at a time most of the time. If it's a drastic error, it'll show you one. But you have a bunch of minor errors, it might give you a list of them. And you have to go through to the line number and position. The position is how many characters to count on that line from left to right. And it'll give you like the exact place where your error is. So this tool is going to be very helpful. The last thing you want to do is bring in a RSS feed into Carousel that has errors, because Carousel is not going to tell you what the error is in most cases. It just simply won't render it. So there'll be another episode I'm doing on errors, common errors in Carousel. And if Carousel doesn't show the error, you're going to have a hard time trying to troubleshoot the problem unless you use this tool. All right, that covers what I wanted to cover in this video. I hope this is helpful to you. This tool should be helpful. Oh, one more thing. If you don't have Dreamweaver, you can open up the XSD in Visual Studio. And here's the way it'll look in Visual Studio. On the left, you'll see the actual source code. But on the right, it gives you a little tree that you can go through here to see the different elements and the structure of the URL. However, it doesn't give you a way to validate it. So the only thing, just like with Dreamweaver, you can't validate it, but it does give you line numbers so you can find out what line your error is on. So that covers that. And remember to click the thumbs up below this video. And thanks for watching. And looking forward to you to watch the next group of episodes. Thank you.